Hi everybody, this is Elizabeth at Petals and Parchment. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so grateful that you're here, and I am welcoming you to week number 5 in the Reflective Rolodex 2025 challenge, where we'll be creating a Rolodex card and focusing on gratitude and things we can look to improve in our own lives. It means so much that you've joined me today. And first things first, let's go ahead and grab our candles and light them and set a nice calming mood for ourselves here today. This smells so good. I'm just gonna set that off to the side and welcome you to take a few deep breaths. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. I'm going to start by inviting you to close your eyes if you're comfortable, and begin by taking a deep breath in We're going to try to relax into our creative space. Exhale and let go of all of that worry and stress that you've been carrying for the day or for the week. Take a big breath in. Breathe in peace and light and freedom. Exhale any doubt and worries and troubles you may have. What are some things you'd like to cultivate in your practice this week? What would you like to focus on for yourself? Take another deep breath in as you contemplate this. Try to relax into your body and let all of your worries melt away. Exhale any tension that you're carrying, any doubt, fear, or worries that you're holding on to. Just let them go. Be here now. Feel the weight of the chair beneath you. Feel your feet on the floor. Wiggle your fingers. Smile in your heart. Take one more big breath in. Let that air out. And get ready to craft. To explore in your art and in your soul. And to just have fun and play today. And when you're ready, open your eyes and let's get started. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the prompts before we get started on the card. And I hope you've had enough time since I've given you the journaling prompts to look them over and see if any of them resonate with you or come up with one of your own. For me, I've decided to focus on kindness to self. How can you show yourself more kindness and compassion this month? And I think this really ties into all the things that we've been talking about and going through so far in the challenge. And I'm happy to report that I've been drinking a little bit more water, which was one of my initial goals. I'm still not quite back to where I was in terms of drinking enough water, but I've definitely made an improvement in that area, and I think that is a way that I can show myself kindness and compassion by practicing self-care and taking care of my body more. I do sit a lot for work, and that's something I'm not used to, but since I've begun working at home, it's a lot harder for me to stay active. And so I think taking care of my physical needs and caring for myself physically is definitely a priority for me. And so I just wanted to share that. And so I did pick a few pieces from the kit for February that I think reflect that, and I'm going to use self-care and celebrate small victories. And then also this image here looks like self-care to me, so I'm going to try to incorporate these into my piece. And then I've also got some textiles that I want to incorporate, and then on top of the card I've got a stencil and some, oh, what do you call these, palette knives, and some texture paste, and I've got some of Lindy's Magicals. These are pretty fun, so I'll show you how I use those, and then just a spray bottle of some water. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is show you a braid that I want to do for my card. So I've got this floss, and I've just cut about a little under 4.5 feet of each color, and then I folded each piece in half and attached them on the loose ends together in a knot like so. So let me just show you how I did that. This is a long piece that I cut in the wrong color. So just grab the loose ends and bunch them together like this, and then you'll have this long piece here with a loop on it like so. And then you do the same to every color. You need at least 3 colors, but you can do as many as 6 if you would like. You could probably do more than that, but it might get a little bit confusing. So I would just stick with 3. It's pretty much just like braiding. And then you just take the 2 loose ends here together, and you just wrap them, whoops, make sure they're lined up properly, and then you just wrap them around your finger like so, and create a knot, and then just knot it up a couple times. So that it creates a big knot that you can hold on to. You need both hands to do this. That's what you want to do, is just get a really big knot, and then you can run a safety pin through the knot and stick it to your jeans so that it pulls tight for you as you're working on it. But I'm going to use these colors here, pinks and whites, that match pretty nicely with the February portion of the kit. So let me get this anchored, and I'll show you how to do the braid. Okay, so hopefully I can show you what I'm doing here. So you'll want to pull the 3 strings taut, and then you're simply going to take your dominant hand that you're using and grab the bottom string of the second color and pull it through the first color, and you're going to pull it tight. And then you're going to take the second color that you just grabbed in your dominant hand, and you're going to grab the bottom string of the third color and pull it through the middle of the hoop. So essentially you're just going to keep braiding by grabbing the bottom string here and pulling it through the one that's in your dominant hand, which is my left hand, and pulling it tight. Then you're going to go to the far side and pull that bottom string all the way through, and you're just going to keep going in this manner until you've braided the whole thing. You're simply grabbing the bottom string and pulling it through as if you're braiding someone's hair, but you're pulling it through. So let me show you. I'm using my pinky to hold one of them and my middle finger to hold the third piece, and I'm using that on my right hand. And then I've got just one piece in my left hand, and I use my finger to grab the bottom string and pull it through the first one in my left hand. And then after every single switcheroo that I'm pulling the strings all away from each other, 2 in my right hand and 1 in my left. I'm pulling it tight so that it cinches up on the braid and keeps everything nice and tight. So I'm just going to keep passing the bottom string through the one in my left hand over and over and over again, swapping out the string on my middle finger and my pinky. If you have more than 3, you can do one on every finger, and then you just stay in order and keep switching between your fingers in order. Grab the bottom string and pull it through the one that's in your left hand, and then tighten it after every single pass. You just pull them apart and it keeps it nice and tight, and I'll show you here in a few minutes what I end up with. If you need to walk away from this project, then you could put a clip on it so that it doesn't unravel or get tangled, but I would say this will probably take 10 minutes or so to get the whole thing done, and then we'll move on to the next portion of our card. Okay, I think I'm getting to the point where you can start to see what's happening, so I'm going to zoom. Not sure if I can zoom in here, so I'll try to be mindful of how fast I'm going here. So I'm just taking my index finger and grabbing this string and pulling it through this dark pink one that I had in my left hand, pulling it tight, and then going back with my index finger and grabbing the bottom light pink string and pulling it through the white string. And I'm just swapping the fingers as I go. So now light pink is swapping with dark pink, and dark pink is swapping with white. White is swapping with light pink. Light pink is swapping with dark pink. And all I'm doing is I'm simply grabbing the bottom string and pulling it through the one that's in my left hand. Grabbing the bottom string, pulling it through the one that's in my left hand. Bottom string, pulling it through, pull it tight after every pull. I don't know what kind of braid this is called. My best friend Sarah in Colorado taught this to me when I was like 6 years old, and I've been making them ever since, and I just turned 42, and she showed me. I'm not sure what they're called, but it was so long ago. There's probably a name for it. I just don't know what it is. But I wanted to show you this. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, and I'm just going to tie it off like so. And this is what it looks like. Pretty, right? Okay, so go ahead and get that done, and then I'll meet you back here. If you don't want to do this braiding part, that's okay. You can just grab some thread and get some washi tape or masking tape and your Rolodex card. Okay, so the next step, we're going to sew the card with the braid that we just created. If you don't want to use a braid, you can just use some thread or some yarn. And I'm going to show you, I think it's called a whip stitch. Anyways, I'm just going to put this washi tape on my shirt to sort of help it lose some of its tack, because I don't want it to stick to my card too much. I'm going to just try to keep about roughly the same border all the way around. Like so. Okay, and then using a pencil, I'm just going to try to mark off every 1/4 of an inch here. And the reason that I've included the washi tape is so that I don't get too close to the edge and they're all evenly spaced stitches. So I'm just using the lines on my glass mat. You can use a ruler, you can eyeball it if you want to. I'm going to peel this one back here and do one in the corner. Same with this side, just marking it every 1/4 of an inch all the way around the card. And I'm not sure if I'm going to go across the bottom or not. I think I'll determine that after I get the other 3 sides done to see if that's something I want to do or not. I'm going to try to remove the tape so that you can see what I'm doing, but you can leave the tape in place until you're done if you want for more uniform stitches. And then I'm just going to take an awl and punch a hole. I've got this piece of styrofoam that I use to punch holes with. So I'm just going to pre-punch my holes because I'm more comfortable doing that, and also because the braid is so thick, I want to make sure I don't have any problems with it passing through. If you're using thread, it shouldn't be that big of an issue, but I also wanted to make sure that I got them uniformly spaced and roughly the same size and in the same spot all the way around. I'm really taking my time here because I don't want to mess it up. And I can also use the larger end of the awl to make the holes bigger as well by just going further into the hole. Okay, so that didn't work. The paper and the holes kept ripping because the braid was too thick, and I had enough to go in and out of the holes, but the amount was so short that I couldn't turn the needle to go back through the holes. So I decided to just completely start over, and we're gonna do it again with just one color of floss, and then we'll decorate our card. So again, you just go from the back through the front, and I'm going to tie a knot back here, but this time I'm probably gonna tie it multiple times so that it's a thicker knot back here and won't pull through the paper. There we go, like so. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the tutorial for this up because I was really excited to show you how to make these. So at least now you have a tutorial for a bookmark or a friendship bracelet. And let's resume with the whip stitch. So just going to go over the top of my paper and come through the pre-made hole towards the front and pull it tight and wrap it to the back and continue in this fashion all the way around. Okay, so I went ahead and just sewed all the way around, and across the bottom here I just decided to go through the top. You could probably make your way around the loops if you wanted to, and then on this side I ended on the back, and then I'm just going to tie it off by going behind the first stitch and then pulling the string through, and before it gets too tight, just pulling my string through the loop, pulling it tight, and then I'm gonna do that one more time. Snip it off there, and that's the back of the card. And this is a mixed media card, so let's move on to the decorating portion. Okay, I'm going to start by adding some texture paste through the stencil. And this is Ranger texture paste in a matte finish, but I have made my own texture paste before, and that's really easy. You just take equal parts of cornstarch and PVA glue and white paint. I'll see if I can find my recipe for texture paste. I think you can use baby powder too. I just always use cornstarch, but making it's really easy, and you just keep it in an airtight container and use it just like this stuff. So you're just going to evenly spread this out through the stencil, and then you'll just want to wash your stencil off when you're done. And I'm just trying to make it completely smooth all the way across. Okay, I think that looks pretty good, and then I'm just going to make sure to get every last bit that I can back in the jar and seal it up nice and tight. Okay, so I went and grabbed a few tools. First, I'm going to just try a wet paintbrush and see if I can just smooth it out a little bit. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna try like a embossing tool or a sculpting tool. A few spots where my lines got covered up. I'm just gonna run my embossing tool through those lines again. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that now, I think. I'm just gonna dry this card and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so there's two different ways that you can use Lindy's Magicals. So first you can spray the water and then you can drop the little color crystals onto the wet paper, or you can drop the crystals first and then spray them. And I'm trying to remember which way I liked better. And so I'm just gonna spray it like so, and then I'm gonna open the jar, and a little bit really goes a long way. And so I'm really gonna just take the tiniest little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just like such a small amount. And then I'm just gonna drop it on my mini canvas here. Watch what it does. Okay, that didn't spread quite as much as I thought, so I'm going to go ahead and spray it again and you'll see what happens. If you don't have Lindy's Magicals, you can use mica powder, or you could use glitter, whatever you have handy. You could use watercolors. I really want some pink in this one corner where it didn't go. So I'm going to try to pick it up gently off the glass mat. There we go. Okay, I'm going to dry this and meet you back here. Okay, so here's my card so far, and I'm just going to get to work decorating it now. So first I'm going to put down this girl, and you can choose the spot that you like least to stick the focal point. So I'm gonna choose over here because that side didn't turn out quite as well as I had hoped. And then I'm also going to probably use one of these little lace flowers here on top of some pretty pink sari silk scrap that's nice and tatty. And I'll put that over here because my heart didn't turn out quite how I'd hoped. You can probably hear my little one singing in the shower. She's getting ready for bed. And she forgets quite quickly when I say, "Mommy's filming." Okay, so self-care. Doing a pretty good job of drinking more water. So I'm gonna celebrate small victories, because although I'm not quite all the way where I want to be with that goal, I am getting closer to it every day. And that's worth celebrating. So I'm just gonna put that on the back of my card. And I think one more flower, just because they're so pretty. I love flowers. And I'm going to call that card complete. So there's the back and the front of my card. So I hope you had fun learning these techniques of the whip stitch, sewing around the outside, and also learning about the braided bracelet slash bookmark that I showed you that didn't quite work out, and learning to embrace imperfections and small steps, and talking about self-care and using some of our art supplies in the process. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!